What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas back with you on a Tuesday evening. It is 10 o'clock. It's time where we just hang out and talk about the weather, how it's going to impact you, and of course, bring you guys into the conversation. The live chat is fired up and ready to go, both on YouTube and on clickorlando.com. If you're not familiar with the show, if this is your first time checking it out, we talk all things weather here, especially how it impacts you again in the Central Florida area. We can go off the cuff if you have any questions or if you want to touch on another topic. Post it in the comments and we will get to it. Here's how it works. If you are an insider, you have to be an insider to comment. So go to clickorlando.com. You're going to see this story, this article that talks about our live stream that we're chatting about right now. And in it is a chat box that you can see. You can type your questions, your comments, what's up, how you doing, anything like that. And then we can show them live on the show across the board. If you're on YouTube, you know how to comment. The comment box is right there. But the live stream in the clickorlando.com News 6 article is going to be there again with that live chat box. Just type away in there. And then also the live video that you are seeing right now is going to be in that article that you can check out all the time as well. T. Jenkins, what's going on? Commenting from YouTube tonight. I want thunderstorms too. I'm with you. He says he wants thunderstorms, please. I'm right there with you. We need them bad. What's happening just in 2025? Gryphon says, hopefully we won't have a rerun of 1998. That was a very, very bad summer. And of course, he is alluding to the fact that we are super dry, and the title of this video, of this live stream, which states the fire risk is going up. So a couple of those housekeeping items. Again, clickorlando.com. You can watch this live. If you are on YouTube, you can go there. If you're on clickorlando.com, or if you got that push alert just moments ago on your phone, you can comment right from that live story. Again, you have to be an insider to do that. It'll ask you to sign up. It is free. You can be entered into all these different contests that we have as well. But the most important thing, to participate in the live chat, that will allow you to do that. And again, just type away in that chat box. That is just a couple of sentences down within that story, or within them just below the live video that you are watching. Without further ado, we're going to get into this. I might bring that up a couple of more times to the people that are joining in. Again, post in the comment section, whether it's on clickorlando.com or on the News 6 YouTube page, where you're tuning in from, if you want the rain, all that jazz. Also want to point out that we have live views from across Central Florida. We get hyper local as part of this 10 p.m. live stream as well, and get real in-depth. If you'd like to get a little sciencey, a little nerdy, and really dive deep on how the larger kind of scale weather impacts us here in Central Florida and your day-to-day, you've come to the right place. Live look brought to you by our friends at WeatherStem in Orlando and also in Kissimmee tonight. This is the fire risk for tomorrow. So here's the thing that I'm going to say about this map that I have on here. The fire risk for the foreseeable future across all of Central Florida is going to be extremely high. The obvious reason for that is because we just haven't had a ton of rain. From the day to day, though, the variability on, is it going to be a relatively higher opportunity for fires to start and spread? There can still be some change in that. So what I'm showing you here is the highlight for the highest probability for fires to start and spread, again, given a spark, because now this is going to take into account the day to day. I'll show you the drought map, the drought numbers in a second. If you're with us last night, again, those went way up in a lot of areas, again, across Central Florida. We'll break it down for your community and your neighborhood in just 1 second. On the widespread scale for Central Florida, and I mentioned, if you haven't hung out with us before, I'm pretty squirrely, like, squirrel. If I have a thought come through my head, I'll chase that. And one of those thoughts was, I'll talk about why it's this area that has the highlight versus the I-95 corridor in just 1 second. So there's going to be a method to the madness. So again, any questions, any comments, you know what to do. Post them right there as well. Justin 2025, this channel loves you as well, buddy. Thank you a ton for being here tonight and talking weather with us. So that's the fire risk for tomorrow. As a byproduct of the continued no rain, Brevard County has entered the chat in terms of the burn ban. So now, out of the 10 Central Florida counties that can see our signal, we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So 6 of the 10 have burn bans. Osceola, we're getting close to that criteria. Same for Flagler. Marion, it's a voluntary one. Sumter, we have surged into the number. We just don't have the burn ban. And you might be wondering, what number are you talking about? Well, that's a very good question. So this is the map right here. These are the numbers that counties really base the burn ban criteria. We mentioned the 500 Club is a club that we do not want to join. And we joined that today in Brevard County. We went up 7 points on the Keach Byram Drought Index. We said by the end of this week that we would likely be above 500 in Brevard, and well, we got there the next day because it's just so dry. Sumter, Lake, and Volusia, we're getting into some serious problems here with how dry we are. And I mean, it's dry everywhere. It's just the driest of the dry. That's where we have the severe drought criteria from the United States Department of Agriculture as well. Polk County, we're well within the 500. Osceola, we're closing in. Flagler, we may be in that burn ban tomorrow or the next day. Again, we jumped 7 points on the drought index. And in one day in Brevard, so if we do 6 tomorrow, that would likely put us in the burn ban. Jim Edit says, can this threat get any worse for Orange County? Unfortunately, I think so. We're going to go in, if you stick with us over the next few minutes, some of the long-range modeling for rainfall. We're going to go to the short-term higher fire threat day tomorrow, and if you missed that map, I'm going to share that again real quick because this all ties in, so I want everybody to be caught up on this. Orlando, Apopka, Zellwood, Tangerine, Mount Dora, Eustis, Ocala National Forest, Ocala, Denellen, like everybody, Orlando and West is in that elevated fire risk for tomorrow. And that is because of this. So we have some drier air even coming down the Florida Peninsula tomorrow, and that is going to put us into a relative humidity problem. This is the most important thing to look at. It's one of the two. Obviously, wind speed is another thing when you're looking at a day-to-day fire weather forecast. The lower the relative humidity, and again, it's called relative humidity because it's relative to the temperature. So here's one of my other tangents that I go on. It's based on, okay, the separation, how far away the temperature gets from the dew point. The bigger the separation, the lower the lower the relative humidity. So for instance, if it's a 50-degree dew point and it's a 90-degree temperature, that is a large separation. We're going to have the relative humidity super low. It's going to be that divide again tomorrow because if you notice, I mean, it's hot outside, but we don't have that super July or August, September, ugly, nasty dog days of summer humidity just yet. We could use some of that, as uncomfortable as it is. Again, we need to get that up there to really put the environmental factors away in terms of getting the fire started, fire weather conditions right. So watch these numbers. Notice on the coast, we have the relative humidities at 11 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, Wednesday, the 23rd, 50 to 60%. Okay, that's all right. That's a decent amount of moisture. They're lower inland. Watch what happens as I advance the model forward, though, through the afternoon. Sun comes out, it heats us up, dries us out. Notice what happens. So on the coast, we're keeping the relative humidities in the 50 to 60% range. But notice west of I-95, those numbers get down into the 20 to 30 mile per hour, 20 to 30% range. Okay, so that's something that starts to get closer to those critical numbers. Teens and 20s is really, really ugly. It's really, really dry. So we're getting into that threshold. The reason why the fire threat, and again, I want to be clear about something. The fire threat's high everywhere tomorrow because it's so dry. It becomes a little bit harder for fires to spread when the relative humidity is up there. We're able to keep the 50s and 60s around percentage wise because we have the breeze off of the Atlantic Ocean. So while we have the breeze out of the east off the ocean, it is bringing a little bit of extra moisture just along the coast, right around and along the I 95 corridor. That moisture from the ocean really isn't making it that far inland. And that is why we are going to be drier tomorrow, interior Central Florida. And that's one of the reasons why the fire threat is elevated. It gets that special little highlight, which again is right here. And to answer your question, Justin 2025, Mount Dora is included in that elevated fire risk for tomorrow. So the Storm Prediction Center, of course, we know them a lot for issuing those those outlooks from 1 through 5 for severe weather. They also have a fire weather division where they're going to issue 1 to 2 days, and then they also have an extended outlook for that one. But they also have that responsibility as well to issue what they feel is an elevated, critical, or an extreme fire risk. So tomorrow, Wednesday the 23rd, we have that critical, or we have, excuse me, the elevated fire threat, level 1 out of 3. But again, for the last several days, we have not had that. So that, and we had decent brush fires. We had the one in Palm Bay. It was only 5 acres, but man, I mean, those things are very, very vibrant. Certainly pretty visible out there. Again, any questions? If you're just tuning in on clickorlando.com on News 6, post them into the live box. This is what it will look like. There's my test, so it can pop up there. It'll if you're an insider, it will pop up. And again, that live feed on clickorlando.com, you're plugged right on into the chat there, and you can join this conversation. If you have comments, post in the comment section what you would want to see on this nightly live stream as well. This is going to evolve. We are going to have some fun. We're going to have some theme days coming up. Mondays, I like to do long range stuff, and we're going to add a little bit of a challenge to it where we make some picks to kind of verify those long range forecasts as well. And of course, you guys can help along with that. Again, we're going to have fun during these live streams, and it's going to be, I think, hopefully anyway, you find it informative, educational, fun at times when the weather is cooperating, and all that jazz as well. Hey, Jessica, welcome to the live stream. She's asking if Daytona Beach is going to have issues as well. In terms of tomorrow, it's not as high as what it is just to your west if you would take a trip down I-4 west of Sanford, but it is still going to be dry. The vegetation is so dry, so anything that does spark is going to be able to spread easily. It's just a little more elevated just to your west. So I think we're going to have these long, extended wildfire risk issues, even if we're not in these daily highlights, just because it is so dry. We are actually considered to be in a severe drought in Daytona Beach by the USDA. So that's going to be something, again, it's just so dry out there, and there's no real rain in sight. For that, though, I want to show you this model, and this goes out 10 days. So this is going to go out through what? May 3rd. Okay, so this is the brand new update just come in. This is the GFS model. Hey, look at this. I mean, it's not much, but at least at the end of this run here, and that's going to be straight up. Let's take this back. Let me look at the timeline. This looks like this all comes in with that deal. Gonna get a little rain Sunday into Monday. This Sunday into Monday. It's not much. Maybe up to 1/10 of an inch, and then by next weekend, maybe another 1/10 of an inch. It's not crazy, but at least it's something. But still, only 2/10 of an inch over the next 10-ish days on top of the drought situation that we've gotten ourselves into. It's not the best, to say the least. And there are some indications that the wet season, the rainy season, if you're not familiar with kind of our wet season in Central Florida, we don't really have seasons here. We have like fall, summer, spring, winter. Um, we have like the wet and dry season. And if you're a Floridian, you know what that is because during the winter, it's mainly dry. We do get rain and thunderstorms along cold fronts, but they're certainly few and far between compared to the daily thunderstorms that we get pretty much every afternoon, uh, starting in late May on average or early June. But it doesn't look like that is going to come into fruition. Um, on schedule. It might be delayed a little bit because of some larger scale weather features that are going to try to build through. Now, I want to show you a couple things. We're going to focus on tomorrow. And this is one of the other things that I like to do, and especially as we get into that season that shall not be named, that is about 6 weeks away. If you really like getting into the different models, if you like looking at the models, we're going to look at a lot of those, especially when it comes to hurricanes and things like that. So if you like that, again, this show might be for you if you like checking it out at 10 p.m. every Monday through Friday. To kind of look at some of the nuances, the biases involved, whether it's out to lunch or whether we're going to put some stock into it or not. So if you like that kind of stuff, that we're gonna do that. One of these, it's gonna kind of start tomorrow. So I want to show you, this is one of the models that I like. This is called the Her model. So this is the high resolution rapid refresh. If this came into fruition, I would love it. I don't know that it's going to. So this is why, again, models are guidance, not gospel. It's going to be kind of like a support group. We're going to say, okay, say it with me. Models are guidance, not gospel. So this is what is it? Finding Nemo, fish are friends, not food. That's what that reminded me of. But I-75 corridor, I think we're going to have a shot at maybe a few showers. I think the Her as a HRRR, high resolution rapid refresh, is a little bullish on tomorrow. We don't have any rain chances on the 7-day forecast. This is our in-house model. And you'll see as we go through the same time period, it is going to pop a couple, but notice, see at that same time late tomorrow evening, um, it pops a few sprinkles. That's what I'm going with. Along the I-75 corridor, a few sprinkles. It'll be nice to see. It's not going to help our drought situation at all. So that's that. So don't be surprised if you do see a few sprinkles if you're watching from Lake Panasoffkee or Nobleton or Bushnell or Coleman, Ocala, Denellen, the villages, maybe Claremont, maybe Leesburg, in those areas. Um, yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, very, very small opportunity. We'll take it, and that's because of the sea breeze, by the way. So that same reason why the fire threat is more elevated inland, because we have that breeze, the overall weather pattern will push the sea breeze from east to west. That's going to be another one of the fun things, and that's one of the challenging forecasts. I know, I mean, at least whenever I moved here, it was like everyone's like, "Oh, I just say it's going to rain every day. It's easy." One of the challenges in forecasting, and this is what I think the New Six weather team does really, really well, is it's more than just, okay, it's going to rain afternoon. There's certain ways to predict whether it is going to favor Ocala, the villages, or Bushnell, or is it going to have a higher chance of storming in Palm Bay, Rockledge, and Mico. You have to look at the overall weather pattern to see, is the East Coast sea breeze going to be dominant, or is the West Coast sea breeze going to be dominant and kind of bully everything and push everything towards I-95? That's going to be a story for another time. That's something that we're going to look into as we fire the sea breeze. Now, we are firing the sea breeze tomorrow. The air is just so dry as the sea breeze goes in and forces the air up. When the air cools and condenses, as what happens to form clouds and rain and thunderstorms and things like that, the air is just so dry that it cannot sustain any kind any kind of any kind of rain out there. Jim Edits 900 says, looks like the worst way possible to start the spring. I hope not, but it's looking that way. I mean, we need to get some rain in here bad. I mean, we all know how fast we dry things out. I mean, we had a decent afternoon a couple weeks ago, a decent amount of rain come through, and that did nothing to really stop our dry season, or to stop our drought situation that we've gotten into. If we're interested in the highs today, I know a lot of people keep score at home. Highs made it into the lower 80s along the coast, upper 80s inland today. So that extra cloud cover kept us away from 90 degrees. Might have more breaks in the clouds coming our way tomorrow. So that's something that we are going to watch. I'm going to leave you with one more thing before we get going. There's the wind tomorrow. So again, obviously we're hoping that nothing fire-wise gets ignited. The wind starts to play a bigger role into enhancing enhancing the spread of wildfires deeper tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. So again, the firefighters, and I'm pretty sure that I'm going to give the firefighters a shout out every single night that we're on this stream, because I'm amazed at how quickly they are getting these under control. I mean, I know they're doing some burning things out there. They're burning fast. But man, some of the video that we had yesterday, and the brush fires we had over the past couple of weeks, they have looked intense. Certainly they are intense, but the firefighters are doing a phenomenal job, given how dry it is, at getting these out quick. So shout out to them. If I have any firefighters watching, thank you guys a ton, and gals, for all you do. Because man, you are keeping all of this under control in a pretty uncontrollable time, all things considered. And again, that fire threat is just going to get worse. All right, next 3 days, right around 90 tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, back to the upper 80s. We are dry all the way through. Rain chances go up a smidge as we go forward into the weekend, really Sunday into Monday. They are limited at best. We're going to take a look at that on the 7-day forecast coming up at News 6 at 11. So by the way, if you are in the greater Central Florida area and have cable, or if you don't, News 6 Plus is a great way to see our newscast. It is free to download. If you didn't know about News 6 Plus, you just search it on your smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, all that jazz. It'll pop up there. A lot of content on there that you can watch. And you can see this feed actually on News 6 Plus as well at 10 o'clock Monday through Friday. But you can also catch our newscast throughout the day. And our next one is 11 o'clock. So I'm going to get ready to split to prepare some fresh content for the 11 o'clock show. So catch me, Matt Austin, Ginger Gadsden coming up at 11 o'clock. And of course, there's going to be a report. I don't even know what's happening with the Magic game. I'm so focused on the weather. I don't know the score of the Magic game. Jamie Say is in Boston, hopefully for a much better outcome with the Magic. We'll see. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to be back here tomorrow with an update on some of those drought numbers that we are watching like a hawk every single day, and hoping for rain. We'll give you the latest too on some of those long-range models. I don't have a ton of time to go into that on the newscast, so that's another reason why I love this show so much. Thank you guys a ton for tuning in. If you haven't already, I would love to know where you were tuning in from. Post that in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube, give this a thumbs up. It pushes this out to more people to see. It's my hope to get a ton of people watching this so that we can grow this feed and just talk about the weather. That's what I love to do, shoot the breeze about the weather. I know I need to get a hobby, right? This is my hobby. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. I'll see you actually 35 minutes on News 6 at 11 o'clock. We'll catch you then, guys. Have a good night.